Hell yeah, dog.
Dude, Air 5.
Air 5 indeed,
You guys
dog.
really don't need.
Return to lobby.
Hell yeah, bro.
That was fucking sick.
Dude, that railgun is fucking insane. I did like 85 damage on one shot.
That shit was nuts. I don't know how I survived all of that. I don't. Not one bit, but we did it, dude. We out here.
Dude, I was on someone's build and you were beneath me the whole time and I couldn't find you. And like you shot that dude underneath the stairs. All right, I'm going back to the lobby.
You take the high ground, I got the low ground, bud. Word. Well,
yeah.
That wasn't a bad game, honestly. I guess maybe Josh, you were the weakest link, dude. We'll see.
I healed you guys like more than I have fingers on my hands.
Hey,
that was a lucky match.
Did you get the battle umbrella?
No, not me.
Did you get the umbrella for your gear?
Mm-mm.
No.
No?
Nobody has an umbrella, Rob.
Oh, dude, umbrellas is where it's at, bro. You never know what's gonna happen.
Oh, they did that. They did that when they were doing the Midas and the Golden Touch. They had the umbrella, right?
That's my fourth one now. I've got because you get one for like duos, trios, single fucking battle royale, and something else. You get an umbrella for too. I can't remember.
That's pretty cool. Well, let's I guess just go ahead and jump back into it. I'm gonna just pop this up here so I can like look at it and pretend like I'm just like reading it. Okay. So
dude, wait, hold on. I just want to say it real quick. You ready?
Yeah.
T1000 with a fucking railgun, bro.
Hell yeah, dog. Hell yeah. That ain't no fucking joke, bud. All right. So oh shit, you weren't supposed to. Okay. Yo. So mine, the social experiment that I chose this week is. I didn't choose to go with anything dark and disturbing. I was gonna go with one, and it was really interesting. It was about basically how we got the digestive system going, and it was really interesting on that aspect about like how we even understand how we digest today, and I found it really interesting. But I ended up going with this kind of weird one, and I don't know why. But anyways, it's called the Carlsberg experiment. So basically, Carlsberg beer decided to run a little social experiment in Belgium.
Oh, I heard about this one.
Yeah, and I kind of vaguely remember seeing it as a commercial as a kid, I think. I don't know where I saw it. I was probably on the dark web of YouTube.
Isn't this the one with the movie theater and
right.
The people dressing up like bikers or something?
That's it. So,
I haven't heard this one.
So the Abbott experiment is basically a movie theater full of tough-looking bikers, like he said. They're all like really intimidating-looking bikers. So like I'll show you here. So they're all tough-ass-looking bikers, and they filled the entire theater with like these mean-ass looking bikers. And then they only left 2 seats available. And then they'd send in couples randomly to see who would sit and who would leave. Probably more than a few would leave, and nobody actually stuck around. But there was the few that did stay, and then they received like the whole audience would uproar and fucking everybody like yeah fuck yeah, and then they'd give them beer and shit, and they'd drink beer.
They're like yeah, you ain't no bitch.
Yeah, he's like you ain't no bitch. Thanks for sitting with us, dude. Come party. Yeah. So like the whole idea. It was to kind of how we perceive judgments and all that, but that got me on a really interesting idea because obviously we judge for almost like subconscious reasons. You know what I mean? Like we may judge someone based off of their appearance just because they need they may look like I'll give you an example. So let's say wait, hold on, I lost my thought. Let's say we're walking down the alley, right? And by yourself in the middle of the night, and out of the alley comes some creepy ass looking dude. You're going to be aware of the situation and the potential danger that could be there, right? I mean, it's just a means to protect ourselves. But what is the thing that makes us not go about our judgments, or what makes us prepare ourselves but still handle the situation better? Is it the experience? Is it the subconscious? Like, what makes that happen? You know what I mean?
What is that? Is that the hippocampus?
Yeah,
Is that the part of the brain that controls that fight or flight?
Yeah, the hippocampus is also responsible for why we forget shit so easily.
Right. That's a really interesting question. What is it that separates us from our primordial animalistic side, where we're trying to make a decision based more on, I don't know if logic would be the word.
It almost makes me go back to the, like, we've been on this topic lately, but it almost makes me go back to the idea that you live 5 or 7 lives, or this, how we perceive reality. Because, like, if you lived, so to speak, if you lived more than, you know, like 5 lives, you know how to be, you'd be wise, you know, so maybe you know how to handle it. So that would make me think that they have had experience. That's, I don't know how all that works. I'm just, ignore that. I don't know. I don't fucking
know. No, I like where you're going with that, because when you've been around the block enough, right? Even like in life, right? Like the older you get, I certainly see patterns more now than I did when I was younger. So maybe you're going to see patterns from life to life, and you're looking at it from, say, like probability or statistical mathematics on a subconscious level. Like, what are the odds that this dude coming out at me in the alleyway is just another guy, or he's going to fucking shank my ass or whatever?
Based well, even if he is, like, how can I talk my way out of it? How can I not go based? How can I, like, you know, kill? But, like, that would to me would say that I've had knowledge before that I've been able to bring here, whether I know it's from a past life or not, to be able to handle this situation, use my silver tongue, and then make that dude buy me a beer by the end of the night. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean,
what?
Me and Josh used to do that all the time.
He's like, please don't shake me. I'm a nice guy.
Yeah. But
yeah, I've seen that experiment before, man. That's pretty cool stuff.
I don't know. It's kind of silly, I know, but I just kind of liked how, like, the idea that, like, these people decided to leave. Well, what made them decide to stay? You know, was it their experience, or are they just they've lived on this planet well enough to know to not give a fuck? Are they perceiving them as nice guys because, like,
maybe it's the movies that conditioned us to believe that bikers are gonna fuck you up.
It's like, I really wanted to see Rambo.
My thinking is,
I would have been like, dude, these guys look hard. I bet you this movie's fucking badass.
Yeah, we're in a good show now. Look at all these bikers. Yeah. My thought would also be kind of like, it makes me kind of think where you have those 2 seats left. You don't want to be the rude person. You're about to sit down, but then you leave because all these bikers are there and you think that they're like the unsavory type.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, don't be rude, SA. You know, like, sit down and fucking watch the show.
Don't be rude, fool.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
This is just me and my biker gang, the Sons of Virgins.
What was it? The Sons of Virgins?
Yeah, the Sons of Virgins.
That's funny. But yeah, that was my little experiment. Nothing really cool. I told you.
No, I dig that though. That's interesting. I mean, when you kind of think about it, it almost kind of ties back to the laser experiment, you know, and the power of observation. And is there something there, like what you were talking about, Colton, about like past lives and these experiences and the patterns and this repetition from life to life to life, right? Mm-hmm. Like we were talking about before, how clouds, certain types of clouds will look very much similar to each other, but they're also different. There's that repetition, like that fractal mathematics thing going on there. And through the power of observation, are you able to break past that fight or flight, that animalistic genetic thing that's going on that we have to deal with day in, day out as human beings? Are you able to break through that as the spirit conscious inside you?
Perhaps,
you know what I mean?
Perhaps that the experience gained in the necessary travels are like pivotal life choices that was once in a past life is inherently in our DNA? What if that's what something that builds our DNA? You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's
that's
just
very much like kind of Dune. Have you ever read Dune by Frank Herbert?
no, I haven't.
Dune?
They're making a
Dune?
movie of it, right?
Yeah, they're making a new one of it. But anyways, the one of the characters, he was the protagonist in the first one, Paul Atreides, and then in Dune Messiah, he becomes like, he's not an antagonist, but he becomes like a pariah, so to speak. Anyways, he becomes I can't quite remember like what it's called, but it's like, it's called, I think they call him like the Quetzalcoatl Heterek. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but anyways, he's like this convergence of all of these generations of gene manipulation and DNA coding. Basically, like generations and generations, like all before him came out to make Paul Atreides. And Paul Atreides, through his genetics, through his DNA, he had genetic memory of every single person that he was related to before that.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. I always feel like one strand is your inherent family, and then the one strand of the helix is like the past life or your soul. You know, one is the body and one is the soul, and everything in between is kind of is like the experience, I guess. That's how I always just saw it. I just want to let you guys know
I
we're
have
at
19
9 minutes for
left.
the Zoom call too.
Really?
Yeah.
I have 18 minutes left. I'm at 88%.
Oh, shut up, dude.
Yeah.
Well, you'll
All
probably
right,
play the last round.
We'll probably be able to do another duos, and then Josh should probably be downloaded by then.
Yeah, and then Josh, you could just talk about just like what you find interesting or whatever. We'll just mishmash something. We'll fucking figure it out. Dude.
Oh, okay.
All right.
That's really interesting though, Colton. How you're talking about how like the DNA helix itself, like one part of it is ancestral, and the other part of it is spiritual.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's pretty cool, dude.
I've seen the helix also been demonstrated how like civilizations work in like through timelines, and also how like it was like when shifts happen. Like 2012 was another shift, whereas the dip. So now we're on like the perpetual climb, but there's a bunch of other helix going inside. I've just seen diagrams like it before, and that's probably why it registered to me that way. So it could be just a bunch of bullshit, but it just makes sense to me. You know what I mean?
No, that's interesting. It's even like the helix pattern itself. We've been talking about it. It's been a recurring subject in this podcast. Is this repetition of math and chaos, randomness, but there's still patterns within the randomness. Have you ever watched? Have you ever seen a computer model of the solar system orbiting the galaxy?
I think a few times. Yeah.
Or like Jupiter when it's orbiting the sun. A computer model of its moons orbiting it, and it'll have that spiral helix pattern to it.
I think that's another reason what made me think that. I think now that you mention it, I do remember seeing a bunch of shit and seeing it inherently in nature. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's everywhere. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And again, we come full circle to that microcosm, macrocosm.
Right.
You know.
Right.